I'm Dr. Sri. I'm a board-certified family medicine and sports medicine doctor. So I just had my lunch and it was a delicious meal of white jasmine rice with some Indian curry. But for millions of people with pre-diabetes or type 2 diabetes, a meal like this comes with a nagging worry, a massive blood sugar spike. So research shows that these post-meal spikes that comes from having a high glycemic index food like this can damage the inner lining of our blood vessels. It can increase the risk for systemic inflammation. It can raise the risk of fatty liver, and the list keeps going. Now, the biggest question is that how do we stop this spike? So first, let's break down the biology. So the jasmine rice is high on the glycemic index. So meaning that these carbs turn into glucose quickly. Your pancreas releases insulin to shuttle that sugar into your muscles and liver. So let's think of an analogy like this. So let us say insulin is the key and cells are the lock. In type 2 diabetes or pre-diabetes, the locks are a little bit rusty. So which means that even if I put the key into the lock, it doesn't open up the lock and thereby the sugar stays out of the blood. We also know that in type 2 diabetes, there is also partial insulin deficiency, meaning that there are not enough keys to go around. Either way, the sugar crosses the threshold, it stays in the blood and causes injury to the vessels. Even if you take medications, the spikes can still happen because most of the medications are not designed to control the spike alone. So what do we do? So we know exercise helps because the exercising muscles can suck up glucose without needing insulin. Basically, it's an insulin-independent action. Now, normally, exercise physiology, we say you need moderate to vigorous intensity exercise like jogging or biking to burn the glucose, while light walking actually helps only to burn fat. But here is the interesting part. Multiple studies have shown that when it comes to blunting a postprandial spike, a blood sugar spike after a meal, exercise of any intensity helps. This is great news because nobody wants to do a moderate to vigorous intense exercise after a heavy meal. I'll be comfortable with doing light walking after exercise, and knowing that that's going to blunt the postprandial spike, that's indeed a great news for everybody. So when is the window? So most research points to starting within 30 minutes after a meal can be a best window, though up to 60 minutes can still be effective. If you use a continuous glucose monitor, aim to start moving 10 to 20 minutes before your typical spike occurs. So for most people, that spike usually happens anywhere between 15 to 30 minutes after eating. In type 2 diabetes, sometimes there could be a delayed spike. Sometimes the spike can happen after 30 minutes. So if you don't have a continuous glucose monitor, you can check your blood sugar around like 30-minute mark and 60-minute mark to learn your body's rhythm. See, if that feels too complicated, don't worry. Okay, a rough rule of thumb is to start moving 20 to 60 minutes after eating. So remember, even if you miss that window, moving later still helps lower overall daily glucose. Don't let perfect timing deter you from moving at all. So the next question is, how long should you move? Okay, so studies show that even 10 to 15 minutes of light intensity exercise can be beneficial, but the biggest benefit is going to come anywhere between 30 to 60 minutes. So my top practical tip would be to make a post-meal walk a ritual after your biggest meal of the day. For me, that's often our weekend dinners. I often prioritize a 20 to 30 minute stroll to keep my sugar in check. So light to moderate activity is usually the best. It manages glucose effectively without making you sweat through your workloads and also causes less abdominal discomfort. While high-intensity interval training is generally good for long-term health, I generally don't recommend it immediately after a heavy meal. It's just too demanding on the digestive system. I'll be honest, sometimes it's hard to make post-meal walk as a ritual, but I try every time, and so should you. So remember, insulin sensitivity is often lower at night, and we're usually sedentary during the evenings as well. So making a post-dinner walk as a ritual can be very beneficial. And remember, exercise of any intensity can be helpful. So remember, your muscles are like a glucose sponge, okay? All you need to do is to activate them. But this is not an excuse to eat jasmine rice or instant oats every day. You need to focus on carbohydrates that are high in fiber. If you want to master your carbohydrate intake, then check out this video here, okay? If you found this video helpful, please make sure to hit the like button and put some appreciative comments in the comment box below. That will really help out this channel. And I'll see you in the next video. Until then, goodbye.